I know I said I was gonna take a break while working on the 2020 video, but I thought I'd give you guys a Christmas gift this year. A blast from the past, you could say. The game's initial release date was 2017, and yeah, don't be fooled by the $21 price tag. What you see here is the entire game. It's just Gladiator with a hint of physics giving up on the occasion. I can't give the game that much flack, because it was released around the time that consumer VR was still brand spankin' new, and the HTC Vive was the centerpiece for most VR setups. I mean, I'm using the Oculus Rift S, and it sure is playable, but I think it was meant for the Vive ones. You'll immediately pick up the controls right away, so don't worry about the controls. What you have to worry is the content. There are 3 floors with 3 regular fights and a boss. Beat the boss and you move up, plain and simple. After the 3rd floor and a very trippy as hell final battle involving floating heads, what the shit. That's kinda it, really. Sure, you have custom game, but that's essentially an endless mode with all weapons available to you. Some weapons need to be unlocked, but the premise is still the same. You just have to basically beat the piss out of your opponents until you've had enough or die. If you don't want to use weapons, you can pull body parts off of them, but that requires you to stun them first. And it's kind of unreliable for the most part since they get out of stun so easily, and because of your slow speed, yeah, don't even think about it, Sonny. Thankfully, if you manage to kill someone before this eye closes, you can actually walk it off. Don't rely on that. There are 20 weapons in the game to choose from, but my favorite weapon has to go to this blunderbuss looking thing, because if you aim your shots just right and provide the right amount of force when firing, this can straight up kill opponents, leaving them in an unrecognizable mess of blood and chunks. Sure, the bow can do the same thing, minus the explosion part, but once you run out of arrows, you're kinda screwed. Unless you face off against opponents who have bows on them. I didn't get much footage of this game due to how basic this game is, and this happening. Oh yeah, and the moment I let go of my gun, it just yeets off into space, never to be seen again. Thanks, physics. I'm sure you've noticed the violent imagery in this game. There is an option to turn it off in case violence is ever a no-no in your family or you're not comfortable with blood. Think of Gorn as the VR equivalent of junk food. It tastes good, makes you feel good, but only on the short term, and for some reason is sold at a premium. Just to simplify, this is not one of those games you get virtual reality for. It's available on both Steam and the Oculus Store if you want to play it, but there's plenty of other VR games to play. Might I recommend Half-Life Alyx and Beat Saber, or even Blade and Sorcery. Throw in Robo Recall for Oculus users.